Hello, Anna, and hello, everyone. I've been watching as many of the videos as possible, and it's just fascinating and heartwarming to hear the stories that people are sharing. And I just wanted to, well, I wanted to for quite a while, share my views, my opinions, my feelings about the situation. My name's June, and I live in York. I was born in Canada, but I've lived in York in England for, well, since 1972, really. Um, I've been a health practitioner since, well, the mid 80s, I think it was when I started that journey, but I was always interested in health from the 70s onwards. And I feel now that it's really important that the message of self-care gets out there to people because for over 100 years, health health, in inverted commas, has been managed by drug companies. I don't know if anybody knows this, but in the history of healthcare in the United States, particularly, and we know they kind of lead the way on what happens elsewhere, when the medical schools were getting funding from wealthy patrons, those patrons also had big investments in developing medications. And they insisted that the medical schools dish their ditch rather their complementary health programs and just focus strictly on medication when they were teaching doctors. So this is where it all started, and this is what we're reaping the consequences of now, because the drug companies have got such a stranglehold on people's health and well-being, and they're not making people healthier. And now we've got a situation where they're trying to frighten people into taking vaccinations that will make them even less healthy. There's plenty of evidence to show that vaccinations are harming children and harming adults. They're vaccinating pregnant women. It's very alarming, and I have seen a lot of people. I can't give you numbers. I'm not a numbers person. I know many people on here are using a lot of numbers and statistics to quote. But yeah, many people who've been damaged by vaccines and by modern medicine. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a time and a place for antibiotics. You know, they save lives for sure when they're used properly, and other medications are equally necessary when it is, time. But we can't treat everything as if it's an emergency. Western medicine is much younger than Chinese medicine. Chinese medicine is 2,000 years old plus, and other medicines are natural herbs, been going on for millennia, and people have been helped. But suddenly now we've got Western medicine making sure that nobody believes what old-fashioned medicine is about and tries to rubbish it and tries to make everybody believe that modern medicine is going to save them. Well, first of all, as another speaker said, we have to accept death as a consequence of being alive. It's the end game for everybody, but how we die is so important. And if we want to die up to the eyeballs in drugs, that is one choice. But another choice is to have a natural life, defend our immune systems naturally, and have as natural as possible a death. But it's looking worrying. It's really looking worrying. Myself, I haven't had antibiotics since the early 80s. I don't take medication. I'm 66 coming up, and I feel healthier now than I did when I was in my 30s because I'm gradually cleansing myself of the things that have been put into me when I didn't know better. And people don't have the information, they don't know better. But regarding the coronavirus situation, particularly, I am deeply troubled by the fact that we were all shut down by the fears of the insurance companies. They told us we couldn't work, we were not essential services, and we complied because we didn't want to put anybody in danger. We didn't want to risk our own health. We didn't know. We all got gripped by the fear, and Gradually, I've informed myself. I've made my clinic very safe, as safe as possible. It was always safe, actually, but even more now with very safe protocols, and making sure that people feel that there's somewhere they can go where they get cared for, um, in a natural way as possible, and helping people take back control of their own health. That's one of the biggest, most important things I want to get across today, is that we are in charge of our own bodies, and we do need to have a say in what happens to them. And if people don't have the right information and they're getting, censored, information is getting censored, which would help them help themselves, then that makes me really sad and really cross. So I felt the need to say this. So we are back open again. If there is another lockdown, I will resist that. I will make sure that I make a big noise about this, and I have colleagues who are in the same frame of mind. I also have a sad personal story to tell because my father is in Canada. He's 93, and I don't know how much longer he's going to survive because this is breaking his heart. We can't go visit him. My brother is trying to see him once a week, but he can't touch him. He can only be there for an hour. And if I were to get a flight, which is looking pretty impossible right now, but if I were to get a flight, I'd have to quarantine for 2 weeks, undergo a test, and then go and see my dad once a week for an hour, and then have a quarantine for 2 weeks when I come back. And I just simply can't afford to do that. First of all, no one would quarantine me in their home when I got there, so I'd have to pay for a hotel, and it's just impossible. So, yeah, I don't want to end on a sad note, but that's just another of the many sad separation stories I keep hearing from people, how they can't be with their family members. I heard a great story yesterday of somebody who the care home allowed the family members to sneak in through the fire escape and see their dying relative, which was just lovely. I mean, that's a care home in the real sense of the word, caring. So, yeah, we need to be safe. We need to look after each other. But you know what? There are so many other bugs and viruses out there, not just this one, that we need to work on our own immune systems to be strong, to resist everything. There's other stuff in the air that the masks might be better protecting us from, like the pollution and the chemicals in the water and the air and the food and all that stuff. So do look after yourselves, look after each other, and be watching. Thanks. Bye.